I followed this man's post WWE career into the return WWE career, and now watching him win the big one, not just like a big world title from a third party company that ROH was. He won the ROH world title. That
Hmm.
was cool. I watched him watch him win that one. But watching him win this one, man, came very close to those tears, those real crocodile tears.
Dude,
Um, it
hard
was
not to get
emotional.
emotional.
Yeah,
Hard not to get emotional.
I would probably would have lost my shit if like Dustin came out, but I'm sure he's in the back somewhere.
Must
He
have been. Must
must
have
have
been.
been like he's obviously not allowed to be on TV for legal reasons. But him and his mom, his wife, were all there. Like, Brody Jr. was there. Man, he's
Hmm.
taking care of that kid
Hmm.
like it's his own. Like it's wonderful. He's a great, wonderful human being.
Yeah.
Hopefully nothing shady from his past comes back to bite him in the ass ever.
Nah.
Uh, like all these other fucking bad apples out there. But listen, this match was it was booked. And by booked, we mean slightly overbooked, but that was what Chris wanted. So I'm
That's
gonna
what it
turn it to you.
needed.
All right, so I'm
That's
gonna
what it
turning it to you.
needed.
You love this. You wanted this, right? So give it to me. Like
Yeah.
what did you think of the match?
Well, I think that they probably could have done this entire thing without the bloodline rules stipulation because we were texting back and forth like
Agreed.
that was basically a normal match up until the last like 10
Normal
minutes. Like,
no DQs match.
yeah, I mean, they did like the kendo stick, a couple of chair shots, and like they, brawled outside a little bit, but like most of that match was just in the ring.
Yeah.
Like regular, Roman went into a rest hold at one point. I'm like, isn't this a no DQ? Like you can just do whatever you want. They had the whole pitch of
Yeah, I
like,
mean, he could have stayed in the red hole into the rest hold past five. That would have been
yeah,
fucking
like
great.
they said like, oh, anything goes. So to see them like just wrestle normally
Hmm.
for most of the match, I was like, I know it's gonna pick up, but like, this is just a regular ass match. But like I was telling Frankie the whole time was like, I want them to book this into the moon, into outer space. Like I want this to be so overbooked and cluttered and people running in and beating each other up and taking each other out and Roman and Cody crawling back up to their feet and someone gets the pin. And that's what happened. I I feel like a lot of us thought John Cena would show up. Um, didn't hear any Undertaker predictions. I did not. I did not hear anyone call the Undertaker coming back, which was just a nice nod to us old head
Hmm.
wrestling fans who, remember watching The Rock and Undertaker. And man, that expression on Rock's face when turned around and the Undertaker was there, I
Hmm.
thought I was watching like The Rock in the '90s, like early 2000s, where he was like scared of the Undertaker.
Hmm.
Just good stuff. It was good stuff, and
Yeah.
the touch of Roman basically costing himself the match because he couldn't let go of Seth Rollins' betrayal
Yeah.
those years
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what cost him, and it
Um,
was great.
yeah, right down to Seth falling onto the ropes the same way Roman did like 10 years ago, like bouncing off the bottom rope and
Yeah.
just like, man, it was great. It was great. I
It was great.
they had to do something different from last year. Funny enough, I don't think there was a ref bump in this match, which is just like a it's funny that the one match Roman finally loses, the ref never got knocked out.
Yeah. It was also kind of crazy that night one was probably more violent than night two in
Yeah.
the main event. It was
And that
more
was
no
a regular
DQs.
DQ tag
Yeah.
match where The
Yeah.
Rock just threatened to fire the referee if he did anything. Yeah, that's a good point. That's pretty funny.
I know
That
his
was bloodline rules.
I know his profanity, like, I don't fuck around, I'll fire you count
It's
out.
good stuff. Yeah, but
Hmm.
you know, this was everything I wanted. I loved the tag match also. I thought that was fantastic. Um, this was a fascinating idea for a WrestleMania to essentially build a 2-day story and sort of like make every other match feel completely unimportant along the way. I was definitely sitting there waiting for the main event both nights. Um, but yeah, I
Hmm.
got what I wanted. I don't know about you guys, but I felt and I currently feel like a sense of relief. Like I'm happy that Cody won, but I'm also like we can finally see what the next chapter is. Like we could start a new story. Like
Mm-hmm.
we're it's over. Roman can't hurt us anymore. Even though I liked his title reign, I just wish he was around longer or more
Mm-hmm.
often. But I just feel like and really happy for Cody. And it's crazy. I was getting emotional too because like the bloodline stuff was what got Frankie and I like really back into WWE, like main
Mm-hmm.
roster. And
Yeah.
seeing like Jay and Sammy come out and I don't know, just making me think back to like how this whole bloodline story like first started during COVID and then like it slowly started to get like better and better and they pulled us in and all of a sudden we're like sending each other video clips back and forth like did you see
Mm-hmm.
what the bloodline did this week and this week and
Yeah. The
pay-per-view
promos.
yeah crazy like twists and turns Sammy turning on Roman at Royal Rumble is probably going to be one of my all-time favorite moments and I was just like, it's like, man, what a ride. Like they really, it had its ups and downs. No wrestling story is perfect,
Mm-hmm.
but this felt like a really nice culmination of a really, really long story that wove in all these different um, people that came in and out of the
Excuse me.
bloodline story and um yeah, it's just like what a ride. I feel very happy. And glad Vince is gone because he's the probably the reason Cody lost last year. We could have been 1 year ahead of all this by
Mm-hmm.
now, but uh, yeah, I'm just happy for Cody. It feels like he really deserves it. And this was this was a really fun match. Seemed like everybody was having a lot of fun. And I mean, I probably would have booked it even more chaotically. Like
We
I
know.
just
We know. We
I would
know.
have gotten
I
as
know.
many people as possible. Um, but like I wanted all the people Roman had beaten to come down and give him their finishers. And then Cody just like pins him one final time. But the way they played it was still really good. And it's crazy, man. Cody Rhodes is WWE champion.
It's crazy.
Cody
Uh,
Rhodes.
well, I want to go to the resident Stan, the new Cody Stan, because this guy, he came in late in the game, but you've become the biggest Cody fan I know, aside from me, even though I don't talk about it like that. Mr. Anthony Olan Tech, will you please give us your perspective
Dude, I
on,
haven't had Tech in my YouTube name in like 2 years.
but you're still the tech guy, so, but somehow you
Um,
suck at it. Continue.
wow.
Your words, not mine.
Jesus.
Your words, not mine.
Um,
A brutal introduction. Gee,
yeah, Jesus, dude.
roasted the hell out
Anyway,
of him.
I'm really excited for what happens next going forward because as exciting as the whole bloodline thing was, it was a long thing,
It was
a
worth it
long
for us.
story.
For me, it was worth
So
it.
yeah, I'm the casual of the team, but
Yeah.
I'm excited for what's next because this was like the whole point of, this is like the end of the story we wanted, right? And I was even like, bro, if Cody doesn't win this night, like
Mm-hmm.
fuck it, like what else,
Oh,
you
like
know?
we're like I was done. I was like, if
Yeah,
he actually loses, like I'm going back into retirement. Like I
yeah.
can't do another year of this. I just can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then because even with like all the other stuff that happened, like I want to see what's gonna happen with the other stuff too, the heavyweight and everything else. But with Cody, it's such a big championship, especially after what it's grown into from the past, however many thousand days plus. Um, Cody is potentially going to have a massive target on his back for the next person who wants to take him on. But he also, because you have all those people in the ring who was with him, all his
Mm-hmm.
allies. Are we going to see an ally turn against him, or are we going to see some other challengers?
Probably gonna be Seth.
But yeah, ooh, yeah, I want to see Randy versus Cody. Um,
Yeah.
that'd be really good.
I
But
think
Yeah.
if Cody had won last year, like he should have,
yeah,
I'm to this day I'm convinced that that was supposed to be the match for this year
Mm.
yeah,
because it makes too much sense and like you said, hopefully they do it because Randy's old and don't really know how much more time he has.
Yeah.
Um, but I will forever stand by the fact that I think Cody was supposed to win last year, and it
hmm
was supposed to be Cody Randy. Mania plans change all the time. People get hurt, but that match just makes too much sense. Also, because Randy needs one more heel run. He needs one. He's one of the greatest heels of all time. He deserves one more heel run, and Cody is such a baby face.
Yeah.
That would be a fantastic program.
Because
It
wasn't
would
there
be.
like a rumor or a prediction that if Cody would have lost, he would have became heel or something like that? That's what I
No,
read
he
online.
doesn't want to be a heel at all. Like he
Is
didn't want to
that
be he didn't want to be heel in AEW because he has a daughter. That's literally were his words. Like he has a kid now. He never wants to be a heel ever again.
like
Even though people were booing him in AEW, like he
Yeah,
yeah.
refused to go to turn heel, and people were begging him, and he was
it made them
public
boo
now.
him even more
Yeah,
because they got
exactly.
mad that he didn't want to turn heel.
Like I
Yeah.
can't picture a heel Cody like just on how he would do it, Like
I mean, he was heel most of his entire like WWE run. Like
but
that's all he
like
was. That's what he did.
but to this
Yeah,
like new level of Cody though, like
I mean, he was also a heel like with the neck tattoo. Or I guess pre-neck. Nah, I guess he got it during AEW. His runs in the Indies were like the American Nightmare wasn't meant as to be
yeah, it's not
uh
a babyface
it wasn't a
nickname.
babyface when he debuted it. It was because he was a heel.
Yeah.
So
well, I
it
didn't
was
watch it
there.
during that.
I know, but I'm just trying to educate you. You fucking asshole. No, I'm kidding.
It's
Um,
funny though, because like I remember like they didn't want to turn John Cena heel because he's like basically Vince McMahon thought he was like an army veteran. And it's just like I'm never gonna
sorry.
turn this guy heel. He's John Cena. He's Superman.
Yeah.
And then he like stuck to that same principle with Roman Reigns, who was like one of the worst baby faces ever,
Suffering
and
succotash.
became one of the best heels of all time, and ended up selling a shit ton more merchandise and became way more popular once he was a heel. But I think Cody is so popular as a babyface. I
Now he
can't
is,
see
yeah.
them ever doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess a question for the room. Let me give in my 2 cents. I thought um the match was good. It wasn't like last year's. You're right. I still agree. I think he should have won last year because the match was great. The drama, the in-ring chemistry was perfect. This was just madness. And like I don't well, how long was the match? Like what, 15, 20 minutes?
Yeah, it wasn't very long. I don't
It
know.
wasn't very long. I have to go back and check the time. But like it's crazy. Like they had a great chemistry. And I don't and I don't want to give credit or to that old geezer, but like last year's was kind of good. Like last year's WrestleMania was good. Not saying that this was bad at all, but I just think that the chemistry was right. But I'm not gonna also credit the decisions because at the end of the day, it's the producers and the wrestlers who create this.
Mm.
And then it's the big wigs that just say, yeah, that's good. But I'm excited to see what's next for Cody. My and I can't fathom the idea of him being heel now too. You're right. He has to be a babyface unless something crazy happens. And yeah, like you have to turn like us the fans, we logically know when someone should like turn heel. And obviously that was the thing with Roman Reigns. It's like he needed to turn. He turned after he left because Vince was an asshole and told him to like he needed to come back and wrestle and like no because he's recovering and is compromised. He actually I saw the presser last night. He's on medication for life apparently. I didn't know that.
Mm.
He's on medication for life for making sure that like the leukemia never comes back. And like I had no idea. So that's pretty fucking amazing on his end. Like that's medication can't make you feel good. And
Yeah.
he looks shredded. Me and Chris were commenting of his physique looked incredible. Like that
Dude.
man went through a massive cut
I don't know if he was like training with The Rock or something, but like
or
I'd never
juicy
seen Roman.
Lucy.
He's always been like pretty jacked, but I'd
Yeah.
never seen him come in that cut. Like he had abs,
Like
full
bulging
six pack.
abs. Like full six pack wasn't like sucking it in. The
No.
abs had abs. Like
Yeah.
it was
Like
crazy.
I know that it's pretty common for a lot of these guys to like go on a cut for WrestleMania. For like some of the guys that are like really into bodybuilding and stuff. But I never seen Roman like come into WrestleMania looking like that. Like it's
Yeah. And it makes sense.
that was impressive.
Yeah,
That
it's the showcase of the immortals. And like
yeah.
you have to look good. So I don't know where Roman goes from here. It was the other thing I wanted to like kind of follow up with. Um, I think he takes a good break, but I guess the logical thing, and I don't want to say logical, but I also don't want to make it seem obvious, but it is probably the next obvious step is they have to face the Rock. He has to face the Rock, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he takes a break from his current break.
Yeah, I guess so. He extends his leave of absence. I don't know. Because like I don't want I wish I would have loved Roman more. I'm like, don't get me wrong, I love his run. I wish I would have just seen him a bit more, but at the same time he kind of earned it because he was wrestling a lot, then took a
Hmm.
break. But I think it was just too long of a break because also like there's these rules that the old geezer put in place, whereas like you have to defend your title in 30 days or like you get stripped. He went like
Yeah.
2 or 3 months without showing up and never got stripped. So I want consistency with this like now.
Yeah.
Obviously Rollins, man, I felt really sad for Rollins, but I'm not gonna get into that because we're sticking to Cody. So like stuff like that. I want consistency. I want a workhorse. I think Cody will be the workhorse. My question for you, I think it's a crucial one because let's face it, baby faces really don't get long reigns anymore. How long does Cody hold that for? How
Yeah.
long does he
I would.
hold the belt?
Yeah, it's a good question. I was thinking because like
There
the
is fatigue.
problem, like the age old problem with baby faces is that as soon as it's the chase is the whole point.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what makes people get behind a baby face is that they're not the champion.
Yeah.
And so the chase of to get to the title is what captivates people because they're overcoming odds. And like heels don't overcome odds. That's not they cheat. They cheat and they keep the
Mm-hmm.
championship. That's just how it works. So I don't I but it at the same time it does feel like Cody is a different breed of babyface. Like there were multiple opportunities last year when Sami Zayn was the most popular wrestler in the universe
Mm-hmm.
for Cody to get booed, for people to be like, "We want Sammy, take Cody out of the main event, put Sammy in, get it trending on Twitter, like fuck the Royal Rumble shit." And they cheered him. They love Cody. They love him so much. Everybody loves Cody.
Everyone loves
So,
Cody.
I mean, maybe there's a possibility that he is an interesting baby face. I think the risk is always like to pull from like a recent example, but like what happened to Bianca Belair, where
Oh
like
yeah.
when she wasn't champion and back when she was in NXT, she had a lot of attitude. She was kind of like a
Mm-hmm.
tweener, like very confident, and arrogant,
Mm-hmm.
and like really good. And then in the main roster, she just became the female John Cena and had zero personality and just won all the time
Yeah.
and got really boring. And people started to get bored of her. Liv Morgan was another example of someone that like everybody was behind, rooting for her to win the title. Soon as she won it, everybody turned on her.
Yeah, but that was weird. That was really I don't know
Oh
what
yeah.
happened there.
But like I think that like I think Cody's just he's in a different bracket. Like I think he's above all of these other examples. And so I wouldn't be
Hmm.
surprised if he holds that title for a while. At
Yeah.
the same time, all he's ever wanted to do is win the title,
Mm-hmm.
and now he's done that.
Mhm.
Drops it tomorrow.
And this dude, this is literally a guy who started his own wrestling company, and the first thing he did was say, "I'm never going to challenge for the championship."
Yeah, because he didn't want to be
So
like that guy.
yeah, I
Which I
could
get.
see him. I don't know. Maybe Gunther wins the. No, wait, what brand? What? Cause so Cody's on SmackDown now because he was on Raw. So now I guess he's officially on SmackDown. Yeah, I don't know. Because Gunther, I'm assuming, is gonna challenge whenever they do the one in Berlin.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, it's interesting to think like I guess step one, you got to have a heel face, Cody. You cannot send a baby face. Don't send Chad Gable out there to challenge Cody Rhodes on Monday for an open challenge, like or Friday. You
Yeah.
gotta send I don't know solo. Like it has to be somebody that people don't like because you can't risk this becoming. Even though I don't think it's gonna happen, you can't risk it becoming like, all right, well he won the title, now we're bored of him. Like get it on
Mhm.
somebody else.
I,
So
well, I think in terms of when he would lose the belt for time frame wise, anywhere between SummerSlam, Chamber, or next year's Rumble.
I feel like I could see a Roman Cody like SummerSlam rematch, and then The Rock. This is I've been like fantasy booking, like how do you get to The Rock versus Roman Reigns? And I think this is gonna become like a mafia style, like kick him out of the family sort of thing, where it's like The Rock is like, I beat Cody Rhodes,
Yeah. You
and
didn't
then
use
and
your
I
job.
roughed him up, and then you couldn't beat him the next
Yeah.
day on like one leg.
It writes itself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so like he costs Roman at SummerSlam, and he's like, But at the same time, like, well, they're not going to be like fighting over, who's the new leader of the bloodline. Because let's be real, The Rock's not. He's not coming back full time again. Like,
Right.
so
It
I don't
might
really
just
know what
be.
the match would be over outside of just like, you know, who's the, I don't know, more jacked
It might
Samoan
just
guy.
be Rhea defeating Cody for the belt.
Maybe,
Just
maybe,
Yeah.
just maybe.
Rhea beats up
So
Cody, gets the
I
belt
guess,
because it's a
uh,
Dominic as a gift.
I mean, this is another reason why like we can't be doing these long podcasts because I would have followed up with the questions like who beats Rhea now, but I think what's I guess what I want to do now is like let's play the fun guessing game to like wind things down. What happens tomorrow, at Raw? Who comes out to be the first challenger to uh Mr. Cody Rhodes? As I know you kind of said your opinion on it, Chris, but like realistically, who do you think comes out if there's a first title defense tomorrow?
Oh,
If
I
not,
this
mean, is he? I
or if
don't.
not a defense, like it's they start the program to towards that, you know.
I'm curious if he's gonna be on Raw at all.
They announced it. Oh
Oh,
well, no,
he's gonna
excuse
be
me.
on Raw.
No, no, you're right. I lied. They said he was going to be for the morning show
Right,
tomorrow at
right.
9. I
Yeah,
could see it being this. Oh, sorry. Okay, yeah. So I could see that happening that he goes to the morning show and also does Raw because
yeah.
it's going to be in the same city. So
Okay, here's my argument for why he shouldn't be on Raw, and I know he probably will be because he's Cody Rhodes and he
yeah,
pops ratings.
yeah, yeah.
You're gonna
He's
overshadow Damian Priest.
yeah because
And
he's the Raw champion essentially.
look, I don't want to go on a Damian Priest rant,
Hmm.
but you already put your World Heavyweight title on a mid-carder. The only way to make that title feel any more irrelevant is to have Cody Rhodes, the guy who's the champion of the other show, on your show.
Yeah, I
I mean,
think they're
Seth
gonna
Rollins took a
open.
backseat with that title for months.
Yeah.
And I if
I
you're really going in on Damian Priest, if this is the plan, which I'm not sold yet, but if this is really the plan,
Hmm.
you can't overshadow him. This already feels like Puerto Rican Jack Swagger, where they
Damn.
put the title on someone because
Damn.
they fucking had the which I will argue the Money in the Bank briefcase is a terrible idea and they should get rid of it. But because it puts you in situations like this where it's fun when the guy wins it, and then you're like, oh shit, we can't have people keep losing the cash in, so now this guy's champion. I don't know. You send Cody out there on Monday, it would make Drew feel like not as big of a deal, but that's been like his whole storyline, like his whole
Hmm.
arc
Hmm.
for
Mhm.
wanting the title is to make it feel like a bigger deal. It would make Damian Priest feel like a total afterthought.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Back when Bray Wyatt, rest in peace, like first came back, they didn't put him on Raw. Like they waited until Friday to do anything. And I think they've done that with the Bloodline a few times also, where the show ends and then they don't pick up until Friday. So I don't think that's what's going to happen because it's Raw after Mania. It's got its own reputation.
They'll probably
Um,
open with CM Punk.
yeah, maybe.
Nah,
What is his
maybe.
deal? Is he like
Yeah.
fine now?
Again, I don't want to get too much into it, because it's gonna lead a lot. But it looks like he might be fine, or like I think he was okay enough to do that bit, obviously, so they can do what happened, which was
Yeah.
cost Drew McIntyre the title, which sucks. But I'm okay with
Drew
Damien.
deserved it. Like he deserved to get his ass beat. Like as much as I loved like him
The
winning,
trolling.
he talked so much shit.
Yeah.
He absolutely deserved to win and then immediately lose the title.
It was good. It wrote itself, and it honestly made perfect sense to do that.
Would have been
It's
way
really
better if
funny.
Finn was the one with the briefcase though. But
Yeah, of course, of
whatever.
course. We're big Finn. We're Finn stands. What are
Yeah.
you gonna do?
Okay, let's where do you think they go with Damian Priest?
I think the implosion of the Judgment
Judgment
Day.
Day. Yeah.
I think that they're
Just
gonna
like
start doing that.
Finn and Damian?
Hopefully, that'd be nice.
I
I don't
guess.
know. It's crazy. I don't know. I really
I have
don't know.
no interest in like a Judgment Day breakup thing.
I don't need. I'm
I
not
have no
either.
interest in the Judgment Day in general. Just
Just mommy.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, because
mommy.
they lost the tag belts.
I'm
They had
still here
that
for Dom
JD kid. I
McDonough.
fucking yeah, cannot stand that kid. Um, like just separate the Judgment Day, or if not separate it, because the two main are really Rhea and Damien, but more so Rhea than anyone. But other than
Yeah.
that, like Rhea's fine on her own without them. Like I think she's a better character without them. You know how I feel about Finn Balor, not just from the games and not just him
No,
kicking
it's
ass
from
in
the
the
No,
games.
it's
games.
from the
Just
games.
admit
No,
it.
It's
It's
from the
from the
games.
he
games.
It's
hasn't
because you
because I
suck. It's
missed
because you
because
suck.
no
It's because
because
you
I missed
suck.
his whole NXT run. I haven't seen anything currently that has impressed me. That because I missed the whole NXT thing, so I just don't care about him anymore.
All right, so
And
Judge
casual
Damien,
Anthony over
speaks.
here is not impressed by
yeah,
Finn Balor.
and then Damien, I only care about him because he's Puerto Rican. Other than that,
Right.
I don't really care.
A guy with actual talent who's done so much shit in WWE longer versus a guy who you barely ever seen wrestle and just because Puerto Rican. Okay, got it. Understood.
Like I only care about him because he's
Incredible.
Puerto Rican,
Incredible.
but like
This
other
is
than
well,
that,
this is why
I
we have three
like
different opinions on
I
this.
hate the fact that he's champion right now. I kind of hate the whole like money in the bank thing
Okay.
because I think like when Drew won it, I was like, oh my God, he got it because all that trolling and shit, cool, it paid off or
Mhm.
whatever. And then
Yeah.
like take it away, bitch. Like
Well, it also felt like we were headed towards Drew versus Punk. And now I just feel like Damian Priest.
hmm
I'm all right. This is gonna be a whole other episode. But I'm telling you, this
Yeah.
is Puerto Rican Jack Swagger. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. I will gladly eat shit if a year from now this guy's the biggest star in the company. That's not gonna happen. I just
Yeah.
I don't see it. I don't see it.
Uh,
And I don't dislike Damian Priest. He's just not a main event guy.
What if he changed his name back to Punishment Martinez?
Absolute main eventer. Top of
Oh my
the
God! Without hesitation, because Chris was a big, loved the name before. He
yes.
really loved the name and never
Uh,
saw him wrestle. He never saw him wrestle, just loved his
I
name.
I only know him as Damian Priest. But I love the name. I just look, I've seen him since he came in NXT. He's not that good. He's not that good at anything. He's fine at all of it. He's just not that good at any of it. And that's your world heavyweight champion. That is but this goes back to like LA Knight should have won the briefcase, and this is the whole thing.
Yeah.
We're here to talk about Cody and congratulate him.
Yeah. All right. So here's my quick prediction before we close things up. And I think there's gonna be some call-ups tomorrow, and that might be the start of it.
Mm,
But they have to really showcase because like as we've seen before in the past when NXT call-ups come up, there's got to be a defining moment, and a lot of them
mhm.
have not had that defining moment to say
Yeah.
like these guys are stars in the main roster at least.
Right. And Vince fucked up all the ones that came up as stars
Yes,
and he dropped them out to
like
Dolph
Damian
Ziggler.
Priest
So
like had the crowd behind him because he had the briefcase. Clearly, I know Chris, you don't like it, but clearly it still means something to some people. Maybe not. I don't know. I could be wrong, but that reaction that was pretty loud.
that's a
Um,
title change reaction.
I know, but still, like, it works for the moment because like people are gonna be behind them. And
I think the only person in the entire company who could have come out and cashed in that briefcase and gotten the shit boot out of him is Dom. That's the only
oh, that's true.
Oh, and
Yeah.
Austin
anyone could have
Theory.
cashed in that briefcase and the
And
people
Baron
would have lost
Corbin.
their mind.
Where's your briefcase? Fair enough, fair point. It's just
Well,
um
you said NXT come up, so I guess the one logical that I'm thinking of, partially joking, is Gable Stevenson.
Bro,
Whatever the fuck happened with that guy.
I don't
he's
know.
not
I don't know what's happening with that. We're not even gonna touch that. So it's probably I could see Carmelo Hayes coming up and like crashing Cody's party. That would be kind of good.
yeah,
That's good heat magnet if Cody's on there tomorrow, or
right.
like he does some shit with the mid card with Sammy.
Damian
Um,
Priest, mid card. Said mid card. I just think of Damian Priest
all right,
immediately.
shut up. Wait,
No,
no,
you
wait.
make a good point though, man. As far as NXT call-ups go, I'm gonna be totally honest. I don't think there's anyone that interesting they could call up from NXT.
Besides Ilya,
I mean, even him, like I love him, but Ilya comes up.
he did get shafted for
This
the
is
title
well, this
match
has been an
recently.
issue for a long time, but like nobody on the main roster knows who the fuck that guy is. Like
Yeah.
none of the people going to Monday Night Raw have any idea who he is. So you could call him up. It's gonna get a jobber reaction. I don't know. It's not the same NXT. You know, it's not the same time where it was like call up
Yeah.
Adam Cole, call up Johnny Gargano, call up Shinsuke, and these guys were like massive stars at the time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like nobody down there
Yeah.
is a massive star. They're all incredibly talented wrestlers. Carmelo, Trick Williams, Ilya, Braun Breaker, who's I think still a tag champion. I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
Who he's probably been in NXT for too long, honestly. Um,
Actually.
but even him, like it's not a you call it Braun Breaker. That feels like a US title guy. Like he does. I can't see any of these guys stepping to Cody or even Damian Priest,
Mm-hmm.
just in like that main event spot. I don't know. Gunther. I mean, to me that would be the next. Or Drew. I guess. I mean, Drew could probably come out tomorrow and be like, I deserve a rematch.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see what happens. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna. You know what? Let's also like just preface this. Like, maybe we should just go in with zero expectations.
Oh yeah. No,
Uh,
Raw after Mania is fun, man. You never
yeah,
know
it
what's
is
gonna
fun.
happen.
I want surprises, but like,
Yeah.
they're not gonna be that good because like people don't follow NXT like they used to, like you said, and that hurts my heart.
Yeah. And the big stars like Okada, Will Ospreay, the guys that would be
Oh, right,
the
that we
hype
hope.
if
Yeah,
they
yeah.
stepped up to Cody, they're not an option.
Well,
So
there is still some, if we were wrong about WrestleMania, there could be a certain Long Islander who could show up tomorrow if Cody's there.
you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
But they did say he re-signed, and I won't say the three-letter word
Yeah.
or three letters. But we'll see.
So
Any last
disappointed.
thoughts?
Uh,
Nothing in terms of the Cody thing. Just like if we end up doing like another episode this week for the other stuff, sure. In terms of Cody, I guess. As you said, just go in tomorrow with no expectations. I have to remind myself to watch Raw tomorrow because I always forget every freaking Monday.
hmm.
Yeah,
Um,
I can't wait until it gets to streaming.
Yeah.
yeah,
I need
yeah,
that. I wish
yeah.
I wish they would have had started like after, like, because like usually after Manias, it's like a hard reset for a lot of things.
Yeah. It's like the season premiere.
Yeah, it's a season premiere. Oh, and that's just reminds me, this is my last and final thought, and then we'll sign off. Prepare for a draft. I think they're gonna announce that tomorrow for
Mm,
sure. It's gonna be a draft, so then they're gonna they're gonna draft Cody over to Raw.
that'd be good.
Yeah.
That's my prediction because they're gonna do the streaming. They don't have to do it so soon. They could probably also do it like in after like
When is
the
that for?
summer.
August?
What
The
the
streaming.
change?
The streaming.
No, end of the year.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. Not till next year.
So they don't have to do it so soon. So
Uh,
they can let him build. They can let him. He should bring up the ratings for SmackDown first.
Yeah.
Um.
I will say one last thing.
Yep.
Because the last 3 months have been The Rock and Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins and like always some crazy shit going down every week.
Hmm.
It's gonna be a little weird to come down from that.
Yeah.
Just like The Rock's not gonna be on TV every week anymore. Roman Reigns is probably gonna be gone for a while. Seth is probably gonna take time off. And we're truly going into this new era of this is the guy that Triple H wants at the top, deservedly so.
Hmm.
And it's gonna be interesting to see what direction this all leads.
It'll be very interesting, and we can't wait. And we will see you tomorrow night